Morning all and welcome. This is day 2 of the challenge. As said previously, just a little challenge during lockdown to keep the body going. Full body, just activate all the muscles, keep us moving. If you have any questions, comments and such, put it in the links below. I know volume was a problem on my first video, so let me know on this one if it comes out a little bit louder to you guys. Okay, so today we're going to start off with the rotator cuffs, just another little stabilizer. Poop. Okay, today's video we're going to concentrate a little bit more upper body than full body. We're going to start off with stabilizers, so we're going to start off on the rotator cuff, so stabilizers for the shoulder. From there we're going to go into our upper back, our rhomboids, from there into our lower traps. From there we're going to go into a little bit of neuromuscular control in our 747s. From there we're going to get that little bit of cardio going again with a lunge. Then from there another glutes, hammies, inner thigh exercise, and lastly followed up by another upper body exercise for pecs and triceps. Okay, so the first one we're starting off with is the rotator cuffs. If you have just the O band, we're going to do more a static hold, as this works a little bit better. One of my other videos does show how to set the scaps before the exercise, so if you're struggling with that, please go on to that video. So the static one, what we're going to do is from there, set your scaps in position, apply pressure. Make sure as you're doing it, you're not lifting up, so I don't want the upper traps to do the work. I want that rotation outwards to get the work in, and we're going to hold. If you have a longer band, which works a little bit better for this exercise, you'll attach it to something and you're going to do the physical movement. As you do the movement, place something between the elbow and the body to hold it there. If as you're doing the movement it falls out, you know that you've let go of just the stabilizers and you've started working in the larger muscles as well. So grip it there, grip onto your band, and you're going to pull out, back. Again, relax up top as much as possible, and as you're doing the movement, try not to lean and try not to let the shoulders round. When you're doing it single, so in other words you're doing it one arm at a time with the band, you're going to finish off there, then switch onto the hand, same side, and you're going to go inwards with the same movement. This means that we get the internal and external rotators. When you've got the O band and you're trying to do your internal, you're going to hold and you're going to do it eccentrically. So slowly allow that inward rotation. Again, keep the shoulder in place and slowly allow that inward rotation. For those of us that don't have any bands or anything, you can take a towel, normally not the beach towels, they're a little bit large, but you can also apply pressure in this way, much the same as the O band. So you apply the pressure by your own force with the other arm, and that works just as well. From there we're going to go into rows, so into our rhomboids. I've got a weight plate, but here, as I said in the previous video, a tog bag works, anything around the house that you can grip, and just gives you a little bit of weight. Those of us that are looking for the toning, we're going to up the reps. Those of us looking for the strength, we're going to up the weight rather. So you're in that position just to stabilize the lower body, keep the hips in line, slight lean forward, and from there take shoulder and then pull. So that last part, you're giving a nice squeeze on the rhomboid, shoulder, squeeze. Complete the reps, and then we go on to the other side. From there, we're going into a prone cobra. You can add the O band again or a weight. So So you're going to lie on the stomach. From there, we're going to lift shoulders as well as head. Keep the chin tucked. I'm turning my chin just so you can hear me still. Make sure the tummy is in and you've got that nice gap there, so the tummy has activated, and you're going to hold in that position. As you're holding, you're trying to get the shoulder to go down, thumbs up to the roof to get that nice squeeze. Keep the feet on the ground, and the idea is not to work the lower back with this exercise. So if you feel a heavy burn in the lower back, lower the shoulders just slightly, concentrate more on those shoulders going down and squeezing in as the thumbs point to the roof. From there, we're into our neuromuscular. You'll notice with all my videos, I am in socks. I prefer it. It does mean that you work the foot muscles a little bit more. So your intrinsic foot muscles get activated, your balance and neuromuscular increases as well. So bearing that in mind, you must press big toe, little toe, heel into the ground to get this effect. Big toe, little toe, heel into the ground, slight bend in the knee. Keep the hips aligned as you do the exercise. You can take arms out to the side, out, back. So pendulum motion, I'm going to do it the other leg so you can see as well. Make sure you keep the back nice and straight. Out, back. As you go down, the leg goes out, the upper body comes down, the core stays in. I don't want that where the chest is pointing still up and there's an arch in the lower back. From the front, make sure that as you're pressing big toe, little toe, heel, you're not allowing the knee to fall in as you're going or fall out. Keep it nice and straight. So normally we want the knee over the second toe. Okay, from there we're into our exercise for that little bit of extra cardio. I'm looking for lunge jumps. So we're going to start off there, nice and upright, hips nice and aligned, knees not going over the toes. From there, jump, land on the other side. Try again. As you land, make sure the knee doesn't go over, hips stay nice and straight, nice and upright, tummy tucked, and switch. For those of us that this is a little bit intense, but you still want that little bit of cardio, go for me from that lunge, up, and then reset, do again. The faster you reset, the faster you do it, the more you're going to get the cardio of this exercise in. Just from the front, there, switch. Make sure the knees stay nice and straight, pointing forwards as you do it. And then for those of us that cannot do the explosive part of this exercise, so if you have any knee pains, if you find the muscles aren't taking it or you can't hold the knees nice and straight, then what I'm looking for is an explosive step up, just so that we don't have the jump motion as well. So from there, up, back down, up, back down. The faster you do it, the better. If you're on a step, even better. Make sure you're pressing in with the heel and you get the work in the glutes as well and not just in the quads. Okay, from there, we're into our sumo squat. So for this one, you're going to set up. You can use that tog bag again. There, feet are now wider and pointing outwards. You're going to let the knees follow the feet as you go down and back and back. You're going to feel a slight stretch on the inner thigh. That's fine. As you go down, try and get to 90 and come back up. You're going to feel inner thigh working here. Make sure you're pressing in with the heels so the glutes work, hammies work as well. Again, the counterbalance with the weight. The further you take it from yourself, the more assistance you give yourself, the closer you hold it to yourself, the harder. And just again, the tog bag on the back, Little bit more difficult because of where the weight is positioned, but works nicely, especially if you want just that little bit of weight and the toning aspect, so more reps. Okay, our last one, we into our planche push-ups. So for this one, I want hands just wider than the chest, and we're going to take elbows backwards as we're doing the movement. Just wider, elbows backwards during movement. What you'll also notice is shoulder over hand is where you normally do your push-ups, but what I'm looking for here is set up, press your weight slightly forward so the shoulders are past the hands, and down. Okay, try and get as much as possible of your weight onto the hands to increase the difficulty and get the exercise closer to 100%. When you do this exercise, there is quite a lot of stress on your wrists. So before you do it, in our warm-ups and such, you can stretch it out. One of the stretches being there. As you sit back, you'll feel the stretch coming up top here. It is a sharp stretch. Don't overdo it or press past your point. Same position, change the hand around and lean forward, and you'll get the stretch coming up the back. The other thing to remember is with the hands straight, more pressure is on the wrist. As you turn the hands out, a little bit less pressure. And lastly, press with your fingers into the ground as well. This also relieves some of the pressure on the wrist. So again, there, just wider than chest, shoulders past, down, back. Make sure tummy is tucked and we don't get that back arch. Okay, rep wise, what we're looking for, if you're doing the hold on the rotators, I'm looking for 45-second hold. If you're doing the reps, I'm looking for 10 external, 10 internal. Okay, from there we're going to go on to the rows. This depends a little bit on your weight, but I'm looking for 12 to 15 reps for the sake of this video. Then from there we're into our prone cobra, which is a hold. I'm looking for 45 seconds there as you lift up and hold. I want the feeling and the work in the lower traps, which is down here. Okay, from there we're into our lunge jump, so our cardio component. I'm looking for 15 reps. From there into our sumo squats. On the sumo squats, I'm looking for 12 to 15 reps again. And then lastly, in our planche push-ups, I'm looking for 10 to 12 reps. Okay, so from there, I'm going to do it with you guys in real time, just one set, and then you guys can go on from there. Those that want to do it on their own, you're welcome. You have the sets, you have the reps. Remember the activations. Any problems, please put it in the comments or message me personally on the email address, also in the link below. Okay. So from there, I'm going to do the rotator cuff. You guys are welcome to do the one with the band. So from there, I'm going to do the external rotation, hold, activate nicely at the back. Make sure as you're doing it, you're not pressing the chest out and arching the back to get the movement. Keep the tummy in and press. You can do this standing or kneeling. I was just in the position. Hopefully you guys have a timer. With the talking, I've probably gone out of time, but I'm going to stop it there. From external, we are now going into the internal eccentric. So hold it nice and wide, get the shoulder in position, and slowly let the band come in. So your other arm is getting a little bit of external as you do this. Remember not to let the shoulder round as you're doing this. Okay, switching on to the other side. Set the scaps nicely in their position from their eccentric. With eccentric, I'm just looking for the eccentric motion itself, so you don't have to apply pressure when you bring the hand back to its starting position. For those that are beginners, remember the towel between the elbow and the body. For those that have done it before, it's not always necessary. From there, we into our rows. Get nicely into the position, lean over. Don't apply all your weight there. Shoulder first. Remember, as you're doing it, shoulders coming up first. So up with the shoulder, then the squeeze. Not working at the top, so we're not doing that motion. Okay. From the rows, we into our prone cobra. Into position, feet on the ground, get the tummy in, lift up, hold. Keep the chin tucked, neck nice and long. Okay, from there we're into our 747, so our neuromuscular exercise. Position there, knee slight bend. Keep the tummy tucked. You will feel a little bit of hammies working here. Remember, as you're going out, stretch the leg out as far as you can, not straight up to the ceiling. Helps not to get that back arch. You'll notice as we do it, don't claw with your toes. Nice and spread toes, big toe, little toe, heel. Alrighty, next up is the lunge, just to get that cardio going. Nice leg. Try and keep your 90 degrees as you go. Okay, from there we're into the sumo squat. Feet nice and wide, pointed out, weight in front or behind. And lastly, we're into our planche push-ups. Tuck the tummy. There we go, one set. I hope you guys enjoy. Please comment down below and let me know what you guys think.